Please join me in welcoming Cameron Smith, major champion. Cam, when did you get into town, and what's your experience with this course so far?
Got into town late yesterday afternoon from Jacksonville. Pretty cruisy flight over. Just played 9 holes this morning, well, actually 7 holes this morning. Have just played the front 9. The course looks a little bit different to, I guess, what we're used to in a US Open venue, but nonetheless pretty challenging, and yeah, it should set up for a good week, I think.
How's your preparation so far? Talk a little bit about where your golf is.
Yeah, I feel like it's been trending the last probably 6 or 7 weeks. It's started to feel really good. Had a couple of weeks off at home. I've had a couple of boys, junior guys, come over from Australia, and been able to show them around, play a few rounds with them, and yeah, it's been good.
All right, we're going to open it up to questions. Back right here to Andy.
You said the course is different than usual U.S. Opens. Could you elaborate on how it's different?
I guess we're used to that kind of really thick, juicy rough. It's a little bit different here. I think the Bermuda rough, I think you can get kind of lucky or unlucky. There's patches out there where they're actually quite thin and you can get away with a kind of a bad shot, and other patches where if you're in there, it's no good at all. So I think that's a little bit different. I think the way you go through the hills there a few times, there's lots of shots where you almost have to work the ball into the hill. Yeah, it's a really good challenge, but I think that Bermuda rough is definitely a little bit different. You know, typically we're playing in the northeast and get that really dense kind of wet rough.
Right here on your left.
Hi, Cam. Obviously so much chat going on about where the world of golf is at the moment, and so many unanswered questions. Are you able to tell us whether you have had assurances that LIV will continue into 2024?
Yeah, I really know as much as you guys know, to be honest. I haven't been told much at all. I'm just taking it as it goes along, and yeah, I guess if anything comes up, I'll let you guys know. But for the moment, it's just trying to play the best golf I can and trying to win a US Open.
And I know we're dealing in hypotheticals here, but if LIV were to finish this year, would you want to return to the PGA Tour next year?
Yeah, I mean, that's another pretty hypothetical question. I'm unable to answer that one.
On the right, Adam.
What was the reaction like with the LIV players after the news broke last week, and when talking with your teammates and stuff? What was your kind of first reaction when you first saw the news?
I guess the first reaction was, I thought it was kind of a joke that had come out. And then HE gave me a call and kind of explained what was going on. He didn't really explain too much. I think there's still a lot of stuff to be worked out, and as time goes on, we'll get to know more and more. But there's definitely a lot of curious players, I think, on both sides as to what the future is going to look like.
You explained why it's going to be a different test with the golf course, but I'm curious, do you prefer that kind of test compared to a normal US Open test, or how do you think it's going to play out this week?
I like to think that I play my best golf around kind of tough golf courses. I know kind of my US Open record isn't that great. For me, the driver has always been the one club where gets me in trouble, and the US Open and probably the PGA, the US PGA are really, you have to drive the ball strong, and I think that's where a golf tournament can get away from me, but the driver's starting to feel really good, and I think there's a few opportunities around here to make birdies, so I think that falls into my hands a little bit.
Here on your right.
Hi, Cam. Could get your thoughts on the par threes on this golf course, specifically number 15 and the dichotomy with the others?
I played the front 9 today, so I can't elaborate on anything on the back 9.
Can I just ask you any thoughts on a par 3 that could play as short as 90 yards or fewer?
On 15, it can play 90 yards? That's good. I typically love short par 3s. I think a lot of the greatest courses that we play around the world all have a short par 4 and a short par 3, and they can end up being, kind of the trickiest, I guess, as well. I'm looking forward to getting out there and seeing that. I think everyone's favourite par threes are those 9 irons and wedges where you really have to dial it in and hit a good shot.
On your right, Michael.
Thank you. How do you distinguish between the USGA and the R&A in your mind?
Geez, that's a good question. I actually, I guess the USGA is in the US and the R&A is in the UK. I think they both have the same, I guess, thought process in regards to the future of golf and the game of golf, though. Yeah.
For the national championships, one USGA is part of it. Yeah, these guys. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, the courses are definitely set up a little bit different, for sure. I think for a long time the USGA had in mind that par was going to be the winning score, and it's definitely a bit of a brutal test. For me personally, I love a golf course that sets up really difficult, but you can still go out there and shoot 5 or 6 under par, and the winning score, 10 to 15 under, I think is a really good number. But that's just me, and it's not really up to me to set up the golf course.
Right over my shoulder here.
Hi, Cam. Could you talk about the preparation for the 2 majors previously this year and leading into this one, given that in previous seasons you had had a chance to had tour events under your belt? So is the preparation different?
I don't think maybe the first one, the Masters, I think I played maybe a couple of tournaments less than I would have. I think the last few months, though, we've played a lot of golf. We've played all around the world and seen a lot of different courses, a lot of different tests, and I think it's actually been really good for the game. Like I said, the last 6 or 7 weeks, the game has started to feel like it's really flipped a switch and has started to be in the right direction. And these couple of weeks have been nice, though. I think it was kind of a really busy, stressful time, traveling a lot as well, different continents and stuff like that. So 2 weeks at home, rest of the body and rest of the mind was really nice.
Right here on your right.
Cam, you spoke about playing the 7 holes this morning, and I know you mentioned the rough, but was there any other details about those 7 holes? Maybe you had thoughts going in as to what to expect, and once you started playing, whether it be the bunkering, the greens, was there some other aspects that opened your eyes or were different from what you had anticipated?
I think probably not different. I think I was probably anticipating that kind of firm and fast, but as the week goes on, I don't think we got any rain in the forecast. I expected it would get really firm and fast, and you might have to be probably a little bit creative from the fairways to get some pins and just be really accurate with your landing distances and knowing how far the ball's running out.
We're going to go to Doug on your left.
Cam, what makes you nervous?
Not much, to be honest.
That's part of the reason for the question.
I guess being offshore in a boat and a motor goes out makes me nervous. On the golf course, I think once I get past that first tee, I definitely have a little bit of a nervy feeling on the first tee every tournament. And then, the last day with a lead probably makes me a little bit nervous as well.
Any other questions right here on your right?
Hi. So the PGA, as I'm sure you know, has been under criticism for discouraging players from joining LIV and then merging. Did you feel, any confirmation that you had made the right decision by going to LIV upon the announcement of the merger?
I think I've made the right decision anyway. I'm very happy with where I'm at. I obviously made that decision for a few different reasons, but it's too early to say, I think, with what's going to go on here. Like I said, I know as much as everyone else, and it's going to be interesting to see how the next kind of few months, maybe even year, kind of plays out.
Stay on your right, back to Michael.
Thank you. Phil Mickelson can complete the career Grand Slam here this week. Have you gotten to know him, and what's he like?
Yeah, I've got to know him a little bit more. Phil, I think, likes to keep to himself a little bit. He's kind of had a lot of, I guess he's had a long career and a lot of people that have been, on his back for a long time as well. But, it'd be awesome to see him do it this week. I think the golf course, as far as I've seen, sets up for a straighter hitter. So maybe not, but we'll see how it goes.
Perfect. Back on here on the right.
Oh, right here.
Dr. Bob.
Was Yasser's call to you before the announcement or after? Did you know about it when he called? And when you did speak to him, did you have any questions for him?
It was just before. It was just before it went on CNBC. It was probably 10 minutes before. He said, "You can watch the interview if you like." I think he was probably calling a few different players, so the call was kind of short and sweet. But yeah, he kind of, I guess, didn't really explain much, but just kind of explained what was going to happen on that day, and there was still a lot of stuff to work out. Yeah.